ICC, Tidesiaga Network Tumani, concerning the joint meeting with the Ministry of Health and Sanitation, together with the Parliamentarians and network of champions for adequate health financing and demographic dividend gets Tumani. We go inside the hall, outside the meeting that take place.
At table 2, we will have the Chairman Parliamentary Oversight Committee on Health, who is representing the Right Honourable Speaker of the National Assembly of Sierra Leone. Committee on Health of Sierra Leone. Honourable Member of Parliament of ECOWAS Parliament. We have the 10th Deputy Speaker of Parliament of Niger. Honourable Chairman of Technical Commissions of the National Assemblies of ECOWAS countries, Mauritania and Chad. Chairperson, Network of Advocacy for Champions for Adequate Health Financing in West Africa. Heads of Diplomatic Missions here in Sierra Leone. Representative of financial and technical partners. I don't want to list them so as not to forget somebody. Dear friends from the media, ladies and gentlemen, all protocols duly observed. Once again, from Sierra Leone. Honourable Member of Parliament of ECOWAS Parliament. We have the 10th Deputy Speaker of Parliament of Niger. Honourable Chairman of Technical Commissions of the National Assemblies of ECOWAS countries, Mauritania and Chad. Chairperson, Network of Advocacy for Champions for Adequate Health Financing in West Africa. Heads of Diplomatic Missions here in Sierra Leone. Representative of financial and technical partners. I don't want to list them so as not to forget somebody. Dear friends from the media, ladies and gentlemen, all protocols duly observed. Once again, good morning to you all and welcome to the Leone Hotel in Freetown, Sierra Leone. And as you all know, we are here for the joint meeting of ECOWAS Parliamentarians and Network of Champions for Adequate Health Financing and Demographic Dividend. This meeting is being, I would say, spearheaded by WAHO in collaboration with the Ministry of Health and Sanitation of Sierra Leone. We are highly honored and privileged to have in our midst this morning the Honourable Minister of Health and Sanitation of Sierra Leone and other dignitaries that I've already listed above. We will have our opening ceremony, which will be as follows. We will have a welcome remark from the representative of the Director General of WAHO. We will then have a remark from the Chairperson of the Interparliamentary Committee, followed by the remarks of the Chairperson of Network of Champions for Adequate Health Financing and Demographic Dividend. Then we will have a remark from WHO on behalf of all the partners here present and all partners who are not here but also interested in financing our activities. Then we will have a remark from the Chairperson Parliamentary Oversight Committee on Health of Sierra Leone. And then the keynote address will be delivered by His Honourable, the Minister of Health and Sanitation of Sierra Leone. After the keynote address, then you create your indulgence so that you can have a good photograph right here with the authorities. After which we will allow the media to ask some few questions for clarification or for some addition to the speeches that we made here. And then we will have some 50 minutes break, coffee break, health break. Then we walk around to see, and then after which we will come back in this room and then to start the technical proceedings. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the program for this short opening ceremony, because normally, the minister has other duties. Then when we finish, then he will take leave of us with all your permission. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the program for this morning, and with the permission of the Honorable Minister here, I would like to call on the pulpit here the representative of the Director General of WAHO to make the opening remark.
Honorable member of the High Table, dear participants, good morning to all. While with this process, Stanley Okolo was not able to come to this meeting, so directed me, welcome to the meeting. In this regard, I have a few words on his behalf. Honorable Minister of Health and Sanitation, Sierra Leone, representative of the Right Honorable Speaker of the National Assembly of Sierra Leone, Honorable Member of ECOWAS Parliament, Honorable Chairman of the Technical Commission of the National Assemblies of ECOWAS countries, Mauritania and Chad, Chairperson or representatives of the network of advocacy champions for adequate health financing in West Africa, heads of diplomatic mission in Sierra Leone, representatives of partners, dear friends from the media, ladies and gentlemen. I bring to you greetings from the Director General of West African Health Organization, WAHO, Mr. Stanley Okolo. And I would like to thank you for honoring our invitation, despite your busy schedule. Professor Stanley Okolo extends his sincere thanks to His Excellency, Mr. Julio Hada, President of the Republic of Sierra Leone, for accepting to host this meeting in this beautiful country, the smiling coast of Africa. Honorable members of Parliament, ladies and gentlemen, your massive and distinguished presence here in Freetown today is a now testimony to the great importance you attach to the issues of adequate health financing and demographic dividend, and your willingness to work to resolve these critical issues and challenges. What would you command you for your commitment? On this note, I would like to thank you for your attention.
the Director General of WAO has welcomed us all to this meeting through his representative here. It is now time for me to call on the chairperson of the Interparliamentary Committee for his speech.
Monsieur le vice-président de l'Assemblée nationale de Sierra Leone, Monsieur le ministre de la Santé de la Sierra Leone, Madame et Messieurs les députés des pays ici représentés, chers collègues, Monsieur le directeur général de l'OAS, Organisation africaine de la santé, Madame et Messieurs les partenaires techniques et financiers, Madame et Messieurs les présidents des réseaux de champions pour le financement adéquat de la santé et le dividende démographique, Messieurs les représentants des missions diplomatiques ici présentes, Madame et Messieurs les organisateurs, Madame et Messieurs les journalistes et communicateurs, Mesdames et Messieurs, honorables invités. C'est avec un plaisir que je prends la parole au nom du président de l'Assemblée nationale du Bénin, son Excellence Louis Gaounou, président en exercice du CIP, décembre 2018 à Porto Novo, février 2020 à Freetown, 14 mois déjà que des décisions et engagements ont été pris par nous, parlementaires, en vue d'évoluer vers la déclaration d'Abuja, c'est-à-dire consacrer 15% au moins des budgets de nos États à la santé et le dividende démographique. Quel bilan pourrons-nous faire aujourd'hui? En ce qui nous concerne, le Bénin fait son petit bonhomme de chemin vers la réalisation de cette ambition communautaire. En effet, beaucoup d'efforts sont mis pour l'amélioration de l'état de la santé de la population. Je pourrais citer la mise en œuvre du projet H, c'est-à-dire le projet Assurance pour le renforcement du capital humain, qui est un programme phare du gouvernement du Bénin. L'augmentation des fonds que nous appelons fonds FADEC, fonds d'appui au développement des communes, la mobilisation des ressources au niveau communautaire, l'amélioration du climat des affaires avec de gros investissements des privés dans le secteur de la santé. La relecture, la réforme du système sanitaire qui conduira à une nouvelle carte sanitaire plus efficace et plus efficiente. Des lois et des tests qui sont pris en faveur de la santé, de la reproduction, avec l'augmentation du taux de planification familiale, la réduction du taux de mortalité maternelle et néonatale, qui entraîne une légère modification de la pyramide sanitaire. Il y a un renforcement de la tranche d'âge productif qui augmente l'épargne, donc l'amélioration de l'investissement. Mesdames et messieurs, les défis sont grands Et tant qu'il reste à faire, dit-on, rien n'est fait. Le Parlement béninois renouvelle ses engagements d'accompagner le secteur santé. L'organisation des rencontres entre les réseaux béninois, les parlementaires et les populations avec les départements. C'est l'occasion pour moi de remercier le gouvernement et les parlements de nos différents pays, la commission de la CEDEAO, les partenaires techniques et financiers et surtout l'ECOWAS pour sa sollicitude constante pour les problèmes de la santé. Mes remerciements au président de la République de Sierra Leone, son Excellence le général Julius Maada Bio, son gouvernement, son Assemblée nationale pour avoir accepté et autorisé cette rencontre africaine et l'accueil combien chaleureux réservé à toutes nos délégations et aux participants. J'ose croire que cette rencontre débouchera donc sur des conclusions qui permettront à nos États de tendre vers l'atteinte de l'objectif d'Abuja. Vive le CIP, vive le réseau des champions, vive la coopération bilatérale et internationale pour l'amélioration de l'état de la santé des populations en vue d'un développement harmonieux de la sous-région. Je vous remercie. Thank you. Obrigado.
Obrigado, thank you. Un sincère remerciement au président du comité interparlementaire pour son discours. Mesdames et messieurs, ladies and gentlemen, before I give the floor to the next speaker, I would like to crave your indulgence to please put all your phones on vibration or silent so as not to disturb the proceedings in the community. Thank you very much for your understanding. Ladies and gentlemen, I wish to now call on the chairperson of the networks of champions for adequate health financing and demographic dividends for his speech.
Monsieur le vice-président du Parlement de la Sierra Leone, Monsieur le ministre de la Santé de Sierra Leone, honorables députés de l'espace CEDEAO de la montagne du Tchad, Monsieur le représentant du DG de l'OAS, chers collègues membres de la Fédération des réseaux des champions en période de financement des droits de la santé et des divisions démographiques, honorables invités à vos grands égards respectifs, chers médias, mesdames, messieurs, c'est pour moi un réel plaisir de prendre la parole devant cette auguste assemblée pour parler du financement des droits de la santé et du climat démocratique, graphique, la politique de population et de développement. Pour rappel, mesdames, messieurs, aucun pays ne peut se développer si la bonne santé de l'être humain est garantie. D'où la nécessité à chaque État de renouveler l'effort en disposant d'un capital humain de qualité. Ce qui requiert entre autres des programmes de santé solides, cohérents équitable, capable de prévenir ou de prendre en charge les problèmes de santé qui peuvent nuire à la performance des individus. Permettez-moi de revenir sur cet événement historique qui s'est passé à Pigard du 24 au 27 avril 2001. En ce moment, nos chefs d'État et de gouvernement, conscients de la santé, que la santé a un coût auquel il faut plus d'investissement, ont courageusement pris l'engagement solennel de consacrer au moins 15% du total de leur budget national annuel au secteur de la santé. Dans exactement 2 mois, nous allons nous rappeler de la 19e année de cet engagement que nos chefs d'État et de gouvernement ont pris et dont la quasi-totalité de nos pays peine à atteindre. L'atteinte de cet objectif va contribuer sans doute à une nette amélioration des situations sanitaires dans nos pays. Certes, des efforts louables sont faits de part et d'autre pour l'effectivité de cet engagement, mais hélas, la fumée blanche tarde à sortir. Malgré des avancées significatives enregistrées par les pays de la région de l'Ouest africaine, dans les domaines économiques, social, culturel, institutionnels et politiques, l'Afrique de l'Ouest, la Mauritanie et le Tchad restent confrontés à une multitude de défis qui handicapent leur développement et empêchent des milliers de personnes de vivre dans des conditions de vie décentes. Chers participants, mesdames et messieurs, conscients de cette situation, les présidents des parlements nationaux des États membres de la CEDEAO, de la Mauritanie et du Tchad, réunis le 19 juillet 2017 à Ouagadougou, ont pris des engagements relatifs au financement adéquat de la santé et au développement démocratique, démographique et les politiques de population et de développement. Honorables députés, mesdames, messieurs, à travers ces engagements, vous nous avez promis d'œuvrer par l'exercice de vos droits d'amendement des lois à procéder à des arbitrages conséquents des projets de budget de nos États respectifs, en vue d'obtenir des augmentations annuelles successives d'au moins 2% des budgets alloués au secteur de la santé, en vue d'atteindre l'objectif minimum de 15% de la déclaration d'Abuja d'ici 2025. Honorables députés, mesdames et messieurs, cela fait bientôt 3 ans que vous avez pris cet engagement. Malgré que l'année butoir est très proche, nous restons tout de même très confiants et osons croire que vous ferez tout ce qui est de votre pouvoir pour l'application effective de ces engagements qui contribuent au bien-être des populations et à la capacité démographique. Dans la logique de notre vision, qui est d'améliorer les ressources allouées à la santé en vue du renforcement du système de santé dans nos pays et toutes ces choses qui concourent à l'amélioration qualitative et qualitative du bien-être des populations de nos régions. Notre réseau continue son plaidoyer et vous renouvelle à tous ici son engagement à veiller à la mise en œuvre effective de ces engagements. Nous restons persuadés que chaque partie impliquée dans ce processus jouera sa partition et qu'avec la volonté politique, l'application effective de ces engagements permettra d'améliorer la santé des populations. J'ai espoir qu'à l'issue de cette rencontre, la mise en œuvre effective de ces engagements sera une réalité. Chers partenaires techniques et financiers, permettez-moi de vous formuler encore une fois nos remerciements les plus sincères pour vos appuis sans cesse. Plus que jamais, la coordination des rôles des champions en plénière pour le financement adéquat de la santé et le développement démographique a besoin de vos appuis pour jouer pleinement ce rôle, celui de veiller à la mise en œuvre effective de ces engagements. Je ne saurais terminer mes propos sans renouveler mes remerciements au DG et de son équipe, aux honorables députés de l'espace CEDEAO de la Mauritanie du Tchad, aux membres des réseaux des champions en plaidoyer pour le financement des poids de la santé pour les efforts consentis. Mesdames, Messieurs, chers honorables, je vous remercie.
Thank you, Chairman, for your speech. I think it's now time for partners to give us their impression, how they feel about this whole issue of adequate health financing and demographic dividends. They have been financing some interventions not only in our countries but the whole region. And this has been coordinated by the West African Health Organization. And today, to give us that impression of what they feel about us, we have the representative, country head of WHO here in our midst, and we wish to call on him to give us that impression. So you have
Thank you so much, Speaker. The Honorable Minister of Health, Republic of Sierra Leone, the Chair Parliamentary Health Committee, my friends, the High Table, and representation from the region who are visiting on this very important discussion. Good morning. I will give my remarks on behalf of the regional director, who unfortunately could not be here today. She extended a lot of greetings to all of you. It is a great idea that countries are thinking about making quality health care accessible to everyone and to everybody in their respective countries. Demand for health care is growing in our countries, with our government desire to provide what is required. At the same time, most of the countries rely especially on external sources, which is becoming increasingly low and low every time. WHO Commission for Macro and Health recommended, among several others, the urgent need for our countries to intensify efforts to increase domestic investment in health and in countries in health. If the countries were to provide essential healthcare services to the population, we need strong political and citizen commitment in. We need strong political commitment in order to be able to achieve SDG 3, that talks about healthier life and well-being for all ages. We need improved and sustainable financing for health, and this is what is actually bringing us here today. The call for increased domestic investment and the thinking of how this can be sourced from our different nations is the biggest challenge that we need to work on together. The Ouagadougou Declaration for Adequate Health Financing and Demographic Dividends and Population and Developing Policies, which recalls declaration of allocating at least 15%, this is the Abuja Declaration, of our annual budget to health, is something that we really need to know how we are able to achieve it together collectively as different nations. It was good that declaration was made by the speakers of the parliament members of ECOWAS, Chad and Mauritania, since they are in a very important position of influence in this cause. We find the decision to follow up on one major recommendation of the December 2018 meeting in Cotonou, Republic of Benin, as innovative for individual countries to establish a committee for monitoring the implementation of the Ouagadougou Declaration. This is a belief will be the Ouagadougou Declaration not functional and the implementation of the Ouagadougou Declaration. This we believe will keep the Ouagadougou Declaration not only functional and alive, but implemented as well. The idea of network for champions of adequate health financing and democratic dividend is laudable, since we expect to see more and serious advocacy and lobbying for increased domestic investment in health, which has a very good return. The UN General Assembly endorsed a historic resolution urging all countries to accelerate progress towards universal health coverage as an essential priority for international development, as essential priority for countries. How can we ensure that all people everywhere get quality and affordable health services without financial constraints? This is the big question that we really need to look at. The African Union also calls for member states to conduct national health accounts, which I believe many of the countries here have gone through. With this, countries will also be able to identify and know their health challenges, the cost of health in their respective countries, and be able to take the necessary decisions. While we are anxiously pursuing increased domestic financing in the health sector, we must remember that strengthening domestic financing mechanism is not only about getting more money, it is also about finding ways to improve how services are delivered across the countries. WHO will, of course, continue to work with every country, including the host country, Sierra Leone, to ensure that WHO and other partners also contribute and support governments in this cause. Personally, I'm also here to learn from your various experiences in your respective country and find out which are these best lessons that we can all learn from each other to improve our domestic and external funding. Thank you.
Thank you, country WHO. He spoke on behalf of partners. From his speech, you will understand that they are happy with what is going on, and they want more. And they are willing to support countries in the region to continue with this fight. And he said something at the end that he's here to learn, and I believe that we are also here to learn from each other. This is one of the objectives of this gathering here. Countries will share experiences in other countries so that we can all leverage on what we are all doing in this way. Thank you so much for your participation. Ladies and gentlemen, what we are doing here today, this gathering, is for parliamentarians and what they want us to achieve in the area of health. They'll be pushing because they need to pass laws, and those laws will be translated to the well-being of our people. And I wish to call on the chairman of Parliamentary Oversight Committee on Health of Sierra Leone to tell us what their committee is doing to better the lots of our people. Thank you. Honorable
Mr. Chairman,
honorable members of parliament from the sub-region, international health partners, delegates from the region, the honorable minister of Sierra Leone, I say good morning to you all. And I want to also stand on the existing protocols. And I also want to take this opportunity, of course, step in the shoes of the Honorable Speaker of the Sierra Leone House of Parliament, because he was supposed to be here and give this particular keynote address. Delegates from all over the 15 West African countries. I want to actually like to seize the opportunity on behalf of the Honorable Speaker of the Sierra Leone Parliament to commend the West African Health Organization for its health interventions in Sierra Leone, more especially its timely intervention during the Ebola epidemic. In the same token, I would want to also extend a kind sentiment and felicitation from the Honorable Speaker of the Sierra Leone Parliament, and also to welcome all members of Parliament, delegations, and participants from the various countries in the sub-region. Of course, the Ouagadougou Declaration on Primary Health Care and Health System in Africa focuses on 9 major priority areas, of which health financing is very key. Other areas of focus include the following: the leadership and governance for health, health service delivery, human resources for health, health information system, health technologies, community ownership and participation, partnerships for health development, and research for health. Health financing policy focuses on mobilizing and pooling financial resources and allocating them to health care providers in an equitable and efficient way. This will enable provision of essential health services of good quality to all, especially to the poor communities and in populations in the rural areas. In the context of health system recovery in the sub-region, the national financing policies and strategies need to be refocused and operationalized in order to effectively contribute to the revitalization of district and community health systems. While following these guideline principles. Among the principles, one is the revenue mobilization. Out-of-pocket expenditure in total health expenditure needs to be substantially reduced in the sub-region, as they create a financial burden in the form of catastrophic and impoverishing expenditure, resulting in people foregoing care. Moreover, the out-of-pocket expenditure cannot be considered as a reliable source of funding to build resilient service delivery systems. Revenue generation drive should come from rapid sources, the main source being the budget and the potential addition of donor funds. The latter should seek alignment with or integration within country funding mechanisms. The number 2 point I would consider is expansion of coverage to all population groups. Creating separate schemes for formal sector employees, we have a stronger fragmenting and distorting efforts. They usually act as a catalyst, creating unequal access to health services, which would be difficult to overcome at a later stage. It is therefore essential that the extension of coverage benefits all population groups.
Community-based health insurance should be avoided, since it cannot serve as a sustainable solution in increasing health funding for the population or for generating more financial resources to develop essential health services. Let me also look at the availability of incentive for quality outputs. Purchasing mechanisms are essential to channel funds where they are needed. Incentivize providers for quality and efficient delivery, and to also ensure quality across the various countries in the sub-region. The performance-based or result-based financing can be a wonderful option in achieving adequate health financing. The other point also I will look at is public financing management. Output-based budgeting is one option to effectively enhance service delivery and also promote health financing system by the implementation of proper public finance management rules, and also address all limitations and challenges in effective channel funding to be service providers. Let me also look at the coverage of information sector and poor population groups. One immediate way to enhance coverage is to focus on funding free healthcare policies or gratuities. That is, specific services for all or for specific population groups that will eventually expand to a more comprehensive package. Conversation on health insurance needs to be based on a universalist and holistic approach from inception as a way of addressing the health needs of all individuals and communities. In essence, adequate health financing is a concept that deals with countries developing comprehensive health financing policies and plans, institutionalize national health accounts and efficiency monitoring, strengthen financial management skills at all levels, while of course democratic dividend is about the growth in an economy as a result of a change in the age structure of a country's population. The change in age structure is typically brought on by a decrease in fertility and mortality rates. Therefore, the twin concept of adequate health financing and democratic dividend is very crucial in sustainable health service delivery. Mr. Chairman, on behalf of the Honorable Speaker of the Sierra Leone Parliament, I want to register the commitment of the House of Parliament in advance and the implementation of the Ouagadougou Declaration. And in conclusion, the health broad concept on country-specific and Sierra Leone towards health financing efforts will be highlighted or presented later as we come as a group to present. I thank you very much for being patient.
Thank you, Chairman. All heard you. Parliamentarians are ready. They are committed. So let the politicians bring aboard their proposals, and then they will try and see how they can put it into law and vote them for the well-being of our people in this sub-region. And talking about politicians, I have the singular honor to call for this pulpit. He wants to be with his people. I've asked him to sit as a royal king to make his speech. He said, no, let me stand here so that my people will see me. I wish to call on the Honorable Minister of Representation of Sierra Leone for the keynote address.
Thank you all, and good morning. Let me first of all start by extending sincere welcome from His Excellency the President, Brigadier Retired Dr. Julius Mada, to all parliamentarians from ECOWAS countries. You know, you must have come to air, sea, and land to eventually be in this hall this morning. Coincidentally, His Excellency the President should be launching a social protection program in Kenema, 250 kilometers from Freetown this morning. And the lot is on me to really meet you all. You know, way back in 1996, I signed the book, the parliamentary book, to be a parliamentarian in 1996. I do hope you would consider me as a colleague, having actually signed the book to be a parliament. But a few weeks after, I was asked to serve as Minister of Education. And I did so for 11 years. Education, youth, and sports. 11 years. Therefore, I think one could be in a position to add some value to issues about social protection. And what I love about this meeting is the fact that we are talking now about champions. Champions that are actually talking to all of us with regards to human capital development. The buzzword now is human capital development that interacts education, health, and social protection. In all our countries, the population dynamics is pyramidal, wherein we have a huge base of people under the age of 18, and the numbers dwindle quite rapidly by the time we get to 60. Can we get demographic dividend? I think the very first issue that we all tend to miss is the fact that we are really talking about the health status of mothers before we talk about the health status of the child. More often than not, the nutritional status of the mother is not adequate enough for you to have babies that are of reasonable birth rate. Hence, if we're talking about allocation of resources, I think one area you will look at in your deliberations is how we put some resource into the nutritional status of the mother and the young. In most countries, we still have a problem with stunting. Yet, very few countries actually prepare their own therapeutic foods. More often than not, we import it. Yet, if you look at the chemistries of what is in that food, the food forms exist in our countries. Maybe it is time for us not to only look at African Medicines Agency, but for us to look at how we really can produce therapeutic foods within the West Africa sub-region and some resources in that direction. Because if the mother cannot, or if the child cannot take breastfeeding exclusively for 6 months, then we do have a problem with the potential accommodation of knowledge of that child. We talk about education as social protection, but the nutritional status of that child is weak. Then as the neurons, as the nerve cells form of that brain, that child will not be in a position to hit the maximum level of academia at all. So for us to be able to provide for that child to live well in life, for us to be able to provide for that child not to get sick as the child gets older, for us not to have large NCDs, non-communicable diseases as they get older, that is the base I think we should look at. Generally, it is said that you look at the health system and we work towards the infrastructure, we work towards equipment, we work towards personnel. But more often than not, we do not put as much resource in training of the personnel. If we do, we tend to put a lot more at the top end of the scale, those that serve the tertiary sector. But if we're talking about universal health coverage, if we're talking about sustainable development goals, then primary health care was the whole idea of the Ouagadougou Declaration. Yet if we look at our resource profile, our budget allocation, we do not always give that priority to the primary health. We should assume that at the primary health care, most countries can train the personnel that we need. Most countries can train the community health officer, the community health nurse, or the community health worker. Most countries can train the personnel that we need. But it is for Parliament to be able to give the aura, to be able to give the respectability to those professions for us to be able to do so. Whereas in the East Africa region, you now have community health officers doing surgery in most countries. That provision is still weak in West Africa. That provision is still weak in West Africa. I feel gratified to be asked to have, not a keynote address, that was delivered, to have a talk with parliamentarians, because I think you are key in many ways. If we're dealing with the personnel, then countries, WHO had given some idea of the ratio of population to health staff. It should be seen that countries every year actually improve the numbers within the health care. But as you improve the number, so you also improve the train mix of those that you require. Whilst most countries train a nurse, very few countries train the nurse for post-basic training, specialist type of nurses. And that becomes a gap. Whilst most countries train the midwives, very few countries have doctors that will look at if a woman is exposed to fistula conditions. What we are saying here, Parliament have to have a full grasp of the health mix and see how the allocations can be made. In Sierra Leone, His Excellency the President came into being in April 2018, and the very first sector that he thought it fit to improve the personnel was that in the health sector. A 40% increase was considered. We normally have 10,000 in the health sector. 4,000 were approved to join into the system. Even though we had the approval to join 4,000 in the system, we did not have 4,000 of the real mix to be able to serve the system well. In 2020, we have now been given the opportunity to employ another 3,000. Not surprisingly, you see us send people to Ghana, the nurses, the midwives. Not surprisingly, we under the tax system, we get Nigeria sending personnel to us. It is for West Africa to give some idea through WAPO about the mix that we require country by country, and we work towards that. It will be difficult for us to talk about health without really talking about health emergencies. Lassa fever is endemic in quite a few countries. We had Ebola in the Mano River, 2014-2015. But in most of our budgets, we do not have a pegged-in resource for health emergencies. We rely on international agencies to be in a position to take us off its abyss whenever it occurs. You are key in ensuring that all health sector budgets do have a resource that is linked to health emergencies that can be accessed rapidly, and for international agencies to support us rather than carry us. Another issue I want to talk about really before taking my seat is that most of the problems after nutrition is related to sanitation. If we imbibe the right hygiene, the right codes, a lot of diseases we will be in a position to prevent. it is now time that things we take for granted. Cleanliness. Somebody was telling me how clean Central Africa, in particular Kigali, was. That is Uruguay. If it can be done in one country, it can be done in every country. And it is now time for us to consider that is the base, the sanitation, the environment, the nutrition that will ensure that our people have a chance in life. Sierra Leone again is working towards the Abuja declaration of 15%. In 2018, our percentage allocated to the Ministry of Health was 7.5%. In 2019, we moved that up to 10%. And in 2020, that is moved up to 11%. We are still coming. But maybe it's not so much the percentage, but how much is accessed. In all the countries, budget provisions is more of an intention of what you could have. But more often than not, you will not access more than 40 or 50% of that. It is for Parliament again to partner with the ministry and ensure that indeed provisions are accessed. Well, I was so pleased when I had the head of the Parliamentary Committee talk about out-of-pocket allowance. Not allowance, out-of-pocket expenditures by the Parliament. He also said we should not go towards community insurance, but maybe to look at national social insurance schemes. Really, with the poverty level, we do not give our people a chance. What we have to do is to give dignity to our people. And dignity to our people would be health, would be education, and indeed social protection. And to be able to do so is for somebody to be able to access essential health services whenever they are sick, wherever they are sick. And that will not be attained as of now without an insurance package. It is for this parliament, again, the parliamentary mix, to consider how each country will strive towards providing a social insurance for our people. It is said economically, Africa may be the new direction, the new place to go. But you recognize that most of our countries have minerals. And more often than not, even to extract those minerals, we still have to get people from outside to come and support us to do so. You will also recognize that we really beneficiate those minerals and take them to one level above just digging it up the earth. Our education has to be directed towards what we need, what we require. And we have to give dignity to ourselves. We have to put a lot of appreciation in what we do. As I look at the faces this morning, I am convinced that this is the right group of people to do so. I thank you very much.
As not listened to the chairperson for Parliamentary Oversight Committee for the Health Sectors and Parliament, and also the Minister of Health and Sanitation. May we carry this program to honor today. May your name not Aisatu Smile. Until we meet again, I say, Tata.